Alright guys, here we are with Trig review, the Trig test review. I know a lot of you didn't really get to go over this in class, so hopefully y'all get a chance to see this video. Going to be ready one way or another. Number one, write this trig ratio needed to solve this problem, okay? We start all of our trig problems off the same way, right? We have an angle, we have to identify opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. The adjacent has something, hypotenuse has something. Those are the two sides I need. Adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. So cosine, sorry for the messy writing, cosine of 42 degrees equals the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And more messy writing. But x over 38 is what you have here. It says don't have to solve, just looking to set it up. Number two, write the trig ratio needed to solve this problem. Again, same thing. Here's my angle, opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. I have information or a length on the opposite and the hypotenuse. So remember, if you're looking to find side lengths like in number one, you use regular trig. If you're looking to find angle measurements like in number two, now we set it up. Opposite and hypotenuse is sine. I'm just setting up an equation. I'm not going to solve anything yet. Opposite and hypotenuse is sine. Sine of x equals opposite 7 over hypotenuse 10. But to solve it, that's when I use the -1. I put the 7 over 10 equals x. That's what I would type into the calculator. That'll give me an answer. But again, it said don't have to solve. I'm just setting up. What is the measure of angle A? So this problem I'm actually trying to solve now. Searching for an angle. I'm going to be doing inverse here. But it's opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. I have opposite, I have adjacent. Okay, that's tangent. Tangent of x, because I don't have an angle, I'm looking for it, equals the opposite 5 over the adjacent 12. Now, I'm solving for an angle, so I'm going to have to use the inverse, -1, 5 over 12. This is what you're going to type into your calculator. First of all, make sure you're in degrees. That should be the first thing you do the minute you walk in the door and grab a calculator to get ready for the test. But after you're in degrees, you're going to hit trig. You're going to choose tangent on the bottom line, 5 divided by 12, and you get 22.619. Says round to the nearest degrees, so that'll round up to 23. All right, most of this is pretty simple if you understand the ratios and setting them up. But, I say that about everything. Number 4, find the value of h to the nearest hundredth. Just another trig problem. Keep going the way we've been doing. Angle, opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Oh, that was the eraser. That was opposite. Hypotenuse. Those are the two sides that have something. Again, opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So sine of 27 degrees equals the opposite over the hypotenuse. Number on the bottom, you're going to multiply to both sides. 6 times the sine of 27 equals 2.723. This one says round to the nearest hundredth. So 2.72. Okay, most of these should be pretty easy. 5, a truck is driving up a road at 23-degree incline. The road is 30 meters long. How high above ground level does the truck end up at the end of the drive? Again, set up your sides from the 23. The picture, the picture matches the words that that are in the word problem. So the opposite has something, the hypotenuse has something again. Opposite and hypotenuse is sine. Sine of 23 equals the opposite over the hypotenuse. Again, multiply to both sides. 30 times the sine of 23 is 11.72. Doesn't tell you what to round to on this problem, so if it's multiple choice, obviously you choose the one that matches. If it's a free response, I'll take to 1 decimal. I know we said originally our default was 3, but, and then I put 2. So, round it as long as it's accurate. I'll usually take it, and it'll be fine. 6, you lean a 20-foot ladder against the wall. If the ladder makes an angle of 50 degrees with the ground, how far away from the wall is the base of the ladder? I know some of you have trouble with the word problems, but remember, really there's going to be 2 types of triangles set up, and it's either the base on the ground or it's kind of an upside-down version of this. Here, if the ladder leans against the wall, that has to be the ladder at the hypotenuse. 50-degree angle with the ground. So that has to be down here on the ground. How far away from the wall is the base of the ladder? Bottom of the ladder to the wall, okay? So we label hypotenuse from the 50. This is opposite. This is adjacent. Adjacent over hypotenuse. I'll stop highlighting, I'll just circle here. Adjacent over hypotenuse is cosine. Cosine of 50 equals x over 20. 20 times cosine 50 is about 12.86. And that one says hundredth, so that's 2 decimal places. And it was feet. Find the height of the kite. Pretty straightforward here again. Opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent, opposite, hypotenuse, sine of 55 equals opposite over hypotenuse. 85 times sine 55 equals x, and that's going to give you 69.63. So again, pretty straightforward, guys. Once you know it, you got to know what makes sine, what makes cosine, what makes tangent, when are we looking for angles, when are we looking for sides, but it's all pretty straightforward. All right, take a look at video 2 for page 2.